right, so I've helped you with creating a plan to pay off debt, and we've talked about how sometimes you can't just cut all your expenses. It's not realistic. You may not have a lot of extravagant expenses that you're not using. So at this point, I told you, you just gonna have to make more money. So in my ebook, I give you like 100 different ways you can increase your income. But I want to tell you a few here. So we're gonna talk about 10 plus ways that you can increase your income. I try to pick some that I have not talked about before, but a few I have talked about because you may be new here. And some of these are more realistic, especially for a person who may not be interested in like starting side businesses or getting side hustles and things like that. So one of the easiest ways that you can increase your income to put more money towards debt is if your job offers overtime, then take advantage of the overtime. I was talking to somebody recently. They actually had a job that offers overtime, but they didn't really like their job, so they never wanted to do any of the weekend overtime. But they actually took a chance and did it, and they got their check, and they was like, I mean, I don't like it, but I like this check. You know what I mean? So if you're really motivated and you're really trying to pay off debt, maybe you do some overtime so that you can increase your income and put the amount that you make in overtime towards your debt. The next thing you could do if your job doesn't offer overtime is get a part-time job. Now, depending on your schedule, it may be difficult for you. Now, with the times changing, I have seen where there are jobs out there that are part-time in the evenings working from your home. So if that is something that you're able to do, then maybe you look into some of those type of jobs to work part-time in. Maybe there is a job close by that you're able to do. Maybe you're able to work part-time in an area that you love. I will also say that, like, if your day job is draining, maybe you don't pick something similar to your day job. Maybe you pick something that is more along the lines of like a hobby you love or something like that. Now, if you're just on the hustle, then, you know, if you can find a job that really pays well, then that's great. But I also don't want you to put yourself in a situation where you have two jobs you hate. So if you can find a part-time job that works for you, that'd be great. I've mentioned on this channel more than once, and I probably like my part-time job when I was paying off debt, and I still do it and enjoy it to this day, is I'm an adjunct professor. But typically with being an adjunct, you have to at least have a master's degree, just depending on your field. Now, if you have a lot of experience with a bachelor's degree, then they may take you for that, because I do know that there are some areas that they will take like an adjunct who doesn't have their master's, but in the area that I'm in, that doesn't necessarily occur. So you will at least have to have a master's, but maybe that's something you can do, especially if you enjoy teaching. Maybe that's something you always want to get into. Now, I will say, becoming an adjunct takes some time. If you have connections, use them, but it does take some time. If you don't have any like teaching experience, you definitely want to have your resume show how you have trained others and things like that, because that is going to show your teaching skills. The next thing you could do is just change jobs. But when you change jobs, make sure you get a job that pays more. So maybe, you know, you don't have it in your time. You're already strapped. You need to have something that works for you and maybe your partner, or maybe you have kids. So maybe find another job that is going to pay you more, that you're going to work while you are going through this journey. Now, when you get this job that pays you more, you're going to live like you were making the money from the last job, okay? You got to live the same. You can't start, you know, making more money and then your lifestyle becomes more extravagant. The extra money that you are now getting in your paychecks are going towards paying off debt or building up your savings so you can pay off debt. So keep that in mind. Next thing you should do to get some money to pay off debt, you definitely need to walk around your house, and I've talked about this before, and find the unwanted items that you have that you are not using, that is taking up space and collecting dust, and try to sell them, especially if they are in good condition. I have sold cell phones. I have some clothes right now that I'm gonna put out on like Poshmark or whatever, that I either never wore or wore once, and they're in great condition, and I'm just going to sell them, and I'm gonna use that money when that money comes in, and I'm gonna put it towards my student loan, because I'm not using the item, is wasting space in my place, and I want it out of here. So I might as well just sell it and recoup a little bit of money from the item I purchased and put it towards my debt. So you can do the same thing. You can sell unwanted items so that you can get some money for your debt. If you have certain skills that you can use towards paying off your debt, then you definitely should use those skills to make more money. I have a friend who is actually in the video editing business. He's really good at it. He actually has been doing it for a while. He's good with video cameras and things like that. And maybe that's a service that you offer to others, is maybe like video services, video editing services. He ends up working with different businesses to help them get the video they need, that they want to use to advertise different events and things like that. So maybe use that skill that you have. You also, if you're like a photographer, if you like photography, maybe you use that skill. I think I mentioned before, I have a friend who is a designer, but she also does alterations, she gets paid for doing that. And this same friend is really good with hair. She braids hair, so she gets paid for that. So that's something that she makes money from on the side, is doing hair. And speaking of people doing hair, I have another close family member who loves her hair, came up with oils for her hair. These oils that she's been using have been great for her hair, and people always asking. So she is now selling, she makes and sells hair oils and body butters. But then she also has a branch of her business on the side, and this is a side business that she has, where she actually does takedown services. So if you are a girl, especially a Black girl, okay, you getting your braids and your faux locks and all the butterfly locks and all this stuff, sometimes you don't want to take down your hair. If you got a lot of hair, you don't want to do it. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the time, and so you want somebody to do that for you. And she offers those services and makes it easy, and actually travels towards you and includes like a whole package with it. So that's something you can do. And I'm just trying to give you ideas, because I know you have some skills that you're not using, and I'm gonna need you to use them. There's also someone that I know that was really good at shoe repair and restoration. And actually, there's somebody that I'm going to take my Uggs to in a moment who does that. On the side, he repairs shoes. He gets them looking like new. Instead of wasting your money buying some more, you could pay someone to actually help your items last longer. So in your case, if you're really good at keeping like your shoes clean or restoring things that you have, maybe that's a service that you can offer and advertise to others, and be able to do that for them. Another service that you could possibly offer, and look, everybody's different, and I'm going to be real with you. I wouldn't do it, but I pay for it. Okay? Laundry. I think I've said on this channel before, and this is one of my things that I will pay for, this convenience, because of where I live. I pay for my laundry to be washed. I'm not doing it. I don't have time. I'm not spending my time in nobody's laundromat. You could also sell digital products. I do sell different digital products, different downloads in the financial space, but there's so many other digital products you can sell, such as pictures, such as worksheets, planner items, all those type of things. And there's even more. I'm just naming a few, but if you like designing things, or you're designing something for yourself and you know others would like it, sell it. That's something you can sell, and you can even sell that on Etsy. And if you make any other creative items that you really like, you can sell those things on Etsy. When I'm looking for certain things, I go to Etsy first, especially things that are personalized. But y'all, there's even things that we don't even think about. Like, people are on there selling items. I was on Etsy and I saw this leather belt that was amazing. And I didn't get it because it wasn't exactly in my budget to get. But if I go back and see it, and when I have it in my budget, like, I think I'm going to pull the trigger. Yeah, because it was gorgeous. So think about that. That somebody made that and they're selling it. I've even heard of people buying like kitchen tables off of Etsy and deliver it to their home. Like, if you have those skills, come on, make some money. I mean, the time might not be there, but Think about it. You also can do book reviews. So there is a site that allows you to read the books and you will put the reviews out there. So that is a way to make some extra money, especially if you are a reader, okay? This is for my readers. Definitely try book reviews. One side hustle that I used to do, I really enjoyed it. But either you can be like a personal shopper, like helping people find stuff and picking up items for people, helping them find things, especially if you're a very stylish person and people like what you wear and like the way you put things together. Maybe you help others do the same. But you also could be a mystery shopper. Companies actually pay you, and I used to do this, pay you to go and mystery shop their stores to make sure that the customer service is on point, that they're offering the right things, that the employees are doing the right things, that the store is clean. And that is a way to make some extra money. I used to really enjoy mystery shopping. I used to sometimes do it on my lunch. Now, depending on where you live, you might not be able to do that, but I used to work in an area that like a lot of the stores that I would mystery shop were. So I was able to mystery shop on my lunch or right after work. So if that is something that you're interested in, then that's an option. If you're into sports and things like that, you can look into becoming a referee. I have actually an acquaintance and a really close friend who are referees, and they ref a lot of games. Like both of them are basketball referees. I also know of a person who owns a company where they provide referees, and they actually have like a contract, which I think is really amazing, with the school system, and they provide the referees. So that's something that you could do to bring in extra money. In conjunction with all the things that I do, I'm also a notary. So being a notary is another way you can make money. If you are a travel notary, you can actually charge extra for traveling to the location for the person. If you take the extra steps and become a signing agent, you can actually make a lot more money, because you can do notary signings for things like real estate transactions. So there's like multiple documents, and of course you're going to charge a fee for travel because you have to come to the location. So definitely look into that and use that to your advantage. I can only speak for where I live, but I feel like there's not as many notaries anymore as there used to be. If in your area there's not a lot of notaries, I think that's something you should take advantage of, because in my area it's definitely a struggle. If you like to clean and it's something you enjoy, you can also have a cleaning service where you go and clean offices or clean homes. I know somebody who does that, and they were doing it on the side while they were in school, and now currently while they're looking for a job in their field. So look into cleaning services. Now, if you don't like to clean, this ain't for you, but if you really enjoy cleaning as something you like to do, then maybe this is a way for you to make more money. And I will also say, if you are a writer, to look into freelance writing. There are companies that are always looking for people to write for them, either bloggers or like news articles, things like that. Looking to see if you can get into freelance writing. I would say even ghost writing. Maybe people are looking for someone to write a book or ebook or something for them, and you work with them in order to like write it for them, put their words to the page, because maybe they don't feel like they write well. So this is an option too that you can actually look into, and I know that it can definitely be lucrative, especially if it's something you're really good at and you really like to do. Now, if you're looking for more ways to increase your income, as I mentioned in my ebook, there's over 100+ ways that you can increase your income. I would also speak to people who know you well, ask them what do they think you are good at. If you're really having a hard time coming up with ways to make more money, maybe they can help you figure out like what you're good at. Think about what people ask you for, or what you just really enjoy doing and you want to try to increase your income by doing those things. If you haven't already and you're still here, I'm gonna need you to subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe below, because you done hung out the whole time. And make sure you like this video. And if you're looking for more ways to pay off your debt, then definitely check out this video right here. And I'll see you over there.